Hey guys, back in the lab here, just hanging out. Got this knife here that GEC released last year. Grab it here. It is the Great Eastern Cutlery 32 Engineer. So let's talk about it. Really like these tubes that have kind of a cool little design. This is the Engineer. It's got this train going by. I guess it looks like some kids and a puppy. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's ridiculous, but kind of also funny. It's just cool to have. Let's see. It is pattern. Well, this one at least is the Titty pattern with you know what? Honestly, I don't know how to pronounce these dang things. Agate ESPL. So I believe, if I remember correctly, that is Earthstone um, paper laminate. Basically, a type of processed, like a micarta. So more or less like plastic, it feels like. And I'm assuming if we look closely, we can see a little patterning of paper, perhaps some type of, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't just call it micarta. But here it is. The knife itself is actually really well done. I would assume that we could classify this as a maybe an equal end swell center jack. So it's got this nice swell center, which I've been trying to get into these like multi-blade knives. Mostly a single blade kind of guy. Things that I have typically carried in the past, like for instance, this one is my wheelhouse has always been, well, first of all, going back to the very beginning, I've always been like a modern folder guy. So really this channel right now, you're hitting me at a time where I'm on this traditional knife journey, and I've been on this journey for many years, but I still consider myself still discovering, as we all are. But for years and years, I had modern folders, and I still do. And we'll get into those eventually too. I remember when these came out. I think this one probably, golly, this might have been the first production run that Lion Steel. So Lion Steel, of course, is they're in Italy. It says right there. They make stuff, modern folders, but when these came out, I really liked it for the reason of it being, first of all, it was a great kind of gateway drug, right, to the traditional folders because it was modern materials, carbon fiber, titanium bolsters, and it didn't have like a very difficult pull. Like I could just grab it and pull it open. It wasn't anything kind of, you know, I think the thing is there's almost like a divide in our community. Like you've got the modern folder guys who want to deploy things one-handed very quickly, all these fancy steels, and then you've got the more traditional folder crowd that doesn't value all that, right? Like it's more about the charm and the construction and the appeal, and it definitely is a more different mentality. But this was M390 steel. It was really nice material, and also I just felt like it was very easy to use. Like this is a thing that you could throw in your car, you could throw it in your bag, you could put it in your pocket. Feels good. It's easy to carry. It's only a single blade, so you're not like digging through a bunch of blades. And the steel is great on this. This was this was quite a revelation when it came out. I don't know. It must have come out now 5, 6, 7 years ago. But the steel is marvelous. I mean, I never have to resharpen this, but I put a real nice edge on this back when I used to be, I think it's almost a mirror edge. I don't know if you can see it there, but I used to be more into that when I used to care more about sharpening. Um, But now I am more into just, and I'm just busier now these days. But as long as it works, and as long as I can strop it and it works, all these steels and things, it's just not. I'm not saying it's wrong, and I think there's definitely a place for that. But for me, I just like something that can work and is functional. Anyway, gosh, this whole digression just hijacked this whole video. Back to what we were here to talk about. This guy, the GEC engineer. Great knife. I mean, I'm still getting used to carrying multi-bladed knives. I like that this one has a good size, so I can do. Let's just go through it again. We have a nice blade here. It's got the pattern production premiere symbol on here because I would assume this is the first pattern production. I really enjoyed this actual handle and blade. I was surprised. This swell center, it's really comfortable. It hits you right in the place where you need that. And actually, for being a knife that looks otherwise kind of like a gentleman's carry, it actually is pretty huge. I was surprised when I first got it. I was like, wow, this is actually a bigger knife than I expected. Let's just put it up to something more familiar with people. This is your 15, right? This is your GEC 15. So this knife actually has quite a bit on it, right? It's opened up. Your comparison there. So you actually have a lot more handle with this knife, but I wouldn't say, okay, that it has more blade. That's where it kind of is not. That's not the strong suit of this knife. This knife gives you two blades, and it gives you a good handle, I think, is really where this knife shines. So if you really want a good size handle, you got bigger hands, you want a good size blade that's not huge but not small. This is versatile. And then if you want a secondary blade, that's where this will come into play. Oh my god, that's a tight grab. And I think that's really one of the things I don't like about the knife is that this secondary blade, and again, not everybody has my gripes. Like I don't have a lot of fingernails, and I sometimes will have problems grabbing. It's more of a grip issue than it is probably a strength issue. But look at this one. The nail nick sits right at the swell. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you put that there? You have to basically get in right there and grab that sucker out. And then it's I don't know. To me, I'm still getting used to it, but like I said, to each their own. This is a great knife for a lot of people, and honestly, to me too. And to be fair, other than that, the ergonomics are excellent. The usability is excellent. That's a pretty good size secondary blade and the primary blade. So you're getting a lot of value out of this knife. And again, my gripes are more preferential. It's not even about the knife itself. What's really impressive to me is how stout this blade is. It's actually quite it's for being so here's another thing about this pattern that I noticed. It's got a single spring, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a big one, but it really does do well. You got both blades in there, and they don't rub at all, which just is a testament to GEC's just careful, thought out precision engineering. I cannot get it to focus. To be fair, it's hard to focus in there, but you can see there's no rubbing. The interface is perfect. No matter how you pull it out, you're getting a very even deployment, and you're getting a very even um, home position there. It's really well done. I mean, this is GEC at the top of their game, and they're doing such a good job with these. What else can I say? I mean, it's a great knife. Size wise, really nice. Let's take a look at some other equal end or double-ended knives that I've been toting around. One of my favorites, again, I might do another video separately, is this 35. It's the beer and sausage. One of my favorites. I know people don't all feel like it's a serious knife in terms of the fact that if you're not familiar, it's got a blade, and it also has, if I can get it out, a comb for, apparently this is a beard comb, right? For everybody out there with a beard. I do not have a beard. I don't even have any facial hair. But it's kind of a novelty regardless. And then for those who are interested in why it's called the beer and sausage, it has a bottle opener right here and a fork for, I would assume, eating your so you could actually, you know, once deployed, you could cut your sausage and you got a fork. But anyway, we'll make another video on that one perhaps. But really, you get more handle with the engineer. Oops. Let's actually close these up. One of my favorite knives here. I just love it. But let me just put that there. You get more handle actually with this knife, right? So with this knife, you can see it's longer. The engineer's got more handle, if that's what you like. I've also got the white owl here. For those who haven't seen the other video that I made on this, this is the white owl, the pattern 68. And again, much larger than the white owl. The white owl does not have half stops, so it's a very similar concept. This has a half stop, whereas the white owl does not, so it just folds in and out. But really, you're getting similar configuration, 2-blade, equal end. The white owl is a smaller knife, not much thinner, but definitely thinner. It's just a smaller knife, but the concept is the same. I would say it's very comparable usage-wise. It's just the white owl is a smaller knife. So if you like the white owl, but you wanted something a little bit more substantial, I think this is the way to go. The engineer. Another one that I just pulled out because it just looks similar. But it has really nothing to do with this. It's a vintage Cattaraugus that I have. I made a short video or a short on it the other day. It has one crack here, which I'm trying to figure out the best way to stabilize that. This is ebony covers. I'm not even going to try to pull out this pen blade because it always gives me hell. Oh, golly. Oh, there we go. I really like this though. I'm starting to wonder if this used to be much longer. I feel like I have a suspicion that it was longer and they, over time, have done a bunch of sharpening of it. Only reason I think that is because just, again, I don't know. It's old, first of all. But secondly, just looking at the size of it, the handles are much longer than that main blade. Suspiciously, the main blade terminates right there, and there's a lot more space for it to go. Anyway, I'm again just getting sidetracked, but I love this knife. Really cool piece from way back in the day. But the engineer, I think, to me, kind of takes the space between a smaller, more probably refined gentleman's carry and combines it with something a little bit larger as a multi-blade, larger size tool that allows you to have a full 4-finger grip and allows you to have 2 blades on only one spring. So you're really just not dealing with a beefy, big old honking thing. You've got a nice and elegant, in a weird way. I mean, although this is not an elegant necessarily design here, it is elegant in the form and function. It's got double-ended bolsters, and really at the end of the day, I think what's really kind of drawing me to these types of styles recently is that, unlike maybe the typical knife, which is nothing wrong with this, but you've got a wide footprint here. You've got a jagged, well, in this case, this end actually can dig into your pants. With enough wear and tear, you can put a little hole in their pants, and I could see why people will put this in a slip or put it in a little leather holder. You could reach into your pocket and actually rub your hand and actually get a little scratch, perhaps. You put this in there in your pocket, perhaps with a phone. You might get a scratch on your phone. I don't know. I'm just saying there are downsides to this. But like when you see the elegance of this slips right in and it's like a torpedo. Both ends, super smooth. When this falls into my pocket, it just slips in there like a round river pebble. It just really gets in there. I like it. I like it a lot. So you're getting that, if you will, ergonomics, right? Like in air quotes. But you really get that. This thing just kind of falls right in your pocket and it just disappears back down there. Yet it's really actually a full handled knife. So you're getting the benefit of the the elegance and the sophistication of a nice piece that you can carry with the benefit of having all that blade, all the handle. So, I mean, it's not for everybody, but I definitely think there's a place for it. Really nice knife, super well made. GEC knocks it out of the park again with their fit and finish. And again, that's why I like traditional knives, right? There's like a knife that is for everyone, and there's a knife for every like occupation and every usage. It just kind of harkens back to a day where people were really using these knives for their day-to-day work, and I think that's kind of the other aspect that's cool about it. And that's why I don't take it too seriously. Like when you've got a beer and sausage knife, it's like, why the heck not? You know, this is the closest thing that we get to that kind of attitude of like, yeah, why not? We got a knife here that does something very specific, but like, so what if you don't have beer and sausage every day? I actually find that this is a perfect knife for being a dad, right? Like, I'm a dad, and maybe some of you guys are, but I actually find that, well, right now she's 7, but I have a daughter that's 7. And what if you're at an amusement park and you pull this out and you don't have to go searching around for a fork. You can just grab one of these in there, grab some hot dogs, grab some food. You've got a fork in a pinch, and you can cut up food. This happened the other day. We were at a restaurant. There was no knife, and I was able to cut some food up real quickly at this place. And I've even used the comb on my daughter's little head, and it worked out fine. I mean, it's not something you're going to use as a go-to every day, but you can just smooth out some hair with that. I mean, this is a there's a lot of creative ways to use a knife, right? Like, not everyone's a cattleman, not everyone's a freaking engineer, but somebody who wants to carry a knife day to day working and pull this out a few times a day is going to really enjoy it, I think. So anyway, I've rambled on enough. These single reviews tend to end up being like multiple knife rants. If that's bothering anybody, let me know. I'll try to do better with keeping these short. There's no guarantees on that. Like I said, it's mostly me ranting and raving about different knives and different things, but I hope that we can all kind of get along and leave comments. Let me know what you guys think about the knives. Let me know what you guys think about the content. Where should I take it? Do you want to see more reviews, or do you want to see comparisons of different knives? I've always found that's really kind of helpful for me to understand which knives would be knives that would fit me. And like, I'll see a knife review, but like sometimes I just want to know what is it like compared to other knives that I might be more familiar with. And so that's kind of something that I do. But if nobody finds that useful, let me know. Still trying to figure out if this knife is something that's going to stick around for the long term for me. It may not. But we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. What do you guys think? You like the engineer? Do you not like the engineer? Why? Why not? Leave a comment. I'm trying to do a thing where I'm going to respond to every comment. Because I think you guys take the time to respond to me, I'll take the time to respond to you guys because, like, why not? That's why I started this whole thing, is to just learn and talk and have you on the journey. I think in the future I'll probably uncover a little bit more that I can do. I'd like to get maybe some of the stuff that I used to have, some of my modern folders, maybe dig into those and just talk a little bit more about other types of knives too. Anyway, uh, definitely see you in the next one, guys. Appreciate it.